Hi everyone, it's Karen here from Karen's Creations Scrapbooking. I'm glad you could join me today. We're going to make this gnome card and another poinsettia card, but the poinsettias are a little bit big, so we're going to have to use the end of a pencil to round it because it's a little bit big. Okay, and then we can use our stylus tool, similar to this one, to help with the shaping. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start with the poinsettia. So you'll need a pencil with a rounded end and your foam and a water spritzer bottle. You're also going to need some scissors, okay, and your glue and your tape. So you can get out your package. Oh, and I don't have any string. Oh no, I have some string. Okay, so we're going to start from the background forward. So what we're going to do is take our tape runner. If you don't have a tape runner, put a little bit of glue on the back. We're just going to put the string around. So I put a little bit of glue at the top, and you have a piece of string, fold it in half. Okay, and then you're going to put the middle in the middle of the glue. And if you have glue or tape, the tape sticks quickly. The glue, you'll just take a minute to hold it, okay? And then you can flip it around. If you have glue, just put glue all over it and then stick it down to your card base and let it dry, okay? So, I mean, you could do that now. I have a glue tip that lets out a little bit of glue. So you will have to be careful as to the amount of glue that comes out, okay? So I'm just gonna flip it over, make sure my opening is opening at the bottom there. And I want this little green tag on the right side, okay? And I'm just gonna let it sit there. Okay, so we can let that dry for a minute before we try to make our bow. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside. I'm going to cut a V in this with my scissors. So what I do usually is I fold it in half and I cut on an angle from the corner to the center. Okay, so you get a V. And we're going to glue this to the green piece of cardstock. And what you're going to do is leave enough of the green on the right side so we can cut a V in it as well. Okay, I'm not going to fold it in half. I'm just going to cut it right to the center with my scissors. Okay, well that wasn't quite even, but so I can cut a little bit more off. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this off. And I'm just going to set that where my card is, way up there, just to the side. Okay, now we're going to curl our poinsettia. So you have one large one, a medium one, and two smaller ones. Okay, we're going to spritz the back with the water. So not a whole lot of water. That was too much. So I'm just going to tap it off on my sleeve. If you have a paper towel, you can tap it off on a paper towel. And then you just take your end of your pencil and you can push it down into the sponge. Now, if you don't have a sponge, you can use a, what do we call it? The mouse pad, or something like that. I guess you could take a thick towel, fold it in half, and push it down Okay, and then we're going to flip it over and we're going to curl it in the center. So this one here is not too curled yet, so I'm just going to curl it a little more and push it down. Okay, so it's a little crinkly, but that's okay. I don't mind it crinkly. So we're just going to spritz the other ones. So I'm really glad I was able to do this with you guys. It's been fun. I think we're going to keep continuing it in the new year. But we're not going to do Christmas cards in the new year. We're going to do something more fun, right? Maybe some birthday, some thank you cards, maybe some get well cards if you know somebody that's feeling under the weather. So one more left here. We're just going to push it down in there and then flip it over and push it on the front. So if you have your stylus tool, you can push it down on the front. You can curl it on the back. The two that have just joined us, I'll give you a stylus tool in January, okay? Because we'll be making more cards probably with flowers and things like that. So I can do that. Okay, so, and we have these yellow centers. So we're gonna curl them as well. So you can use your pencil or the stylus tool. Just gonna spritz them a little bit. Let's see the stylus. So you're just gonna curl the back and then curl the center. Let's see what the pencil does. So the pencil gives it a little bigger curl. And then in the center, okay? Oh, I gotta flip it over. Okay, so now we gotta glue these together. So the large poinsettia, you're gonna put a little bit of blue in the center. And then you're gonna take the medium poinsettia and you're gonna turn it so that it's alternating in between the petals. Okay, so then you're gonna put one of the large stamens, the yellow stamens in the center, the large one, and then you're gonna put a small one in the middle. So you can stick it on your foam. And small one in the middle. So you're just gonna squish it down, hold it down. If you don't have a stylus, hold it down. If you have some scissors, you can push it down. Okay. And then you're gonna glue your two small ones together. And the same way, right? And then with the yellow centers in the middle again. Okay. So you want it to really pop. You can see they're a little bit three-dimensional. Okay. So now we're going to glue it to our card base. So we're going to take our card, and we have this strip going across this, the bottom. So we're going to glue that down to the card. And we're not going to let these little tails go off the card too much, because then it won't fit in our envelope. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that down, and then I'm going to glue this big poinsettia to the left, just making sure that you can still see the sentiment. Okay, so I'll put a little bit of glue in the center and then stick it down. And now what I'm going to do is tie my bow. And I'm just going to put it kind of off to the right side. So you can do 2 bunny ears or just tie a bow like you do your shoelaces. You want it kind of tight, so mine's not very tight. I'll have to do it again. If you need some help, that's okay. Everybody needs help now and again to tie a bow. Okay. And then we're just going to cut off the excess. You can leave it the bow that big, or you can pull your bow in a bit. Okay, something like that. Oop. You want this to kind of stay. So, okay, so now we just have to glue our little poinsettia to right there. That's where I put mine. Or you can put it anywhere you want, but I thought it looked kind of nice on the right side. Just because it has some holly leaves there. Okay. And then I took the white branches and I cut mine in half. So I'm going to cut it here and probably right there. Okay. So it has 2 parts to it. And I'm going to put a little bit underneath and maybe up here a bit. And then I have another one. I'm going to cut it in half again. I'm going to stick one in the middle about there. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of it and stick it in between the 2 layers. And don't worry, the glue will dry clear, okay? So I stuck one at the bottom. You can either stick it at the bottom or you can stick it on the other side. It's up to you. I think I'm gonna stick it at the bottom. And I squished my yellow middles. So there you go. That is 1 card all ready to go. You can add a little sentiment in the center or inside your card for that special someone. Okay, if you have any glitter, you could add more glitter. Just put glue on top and sprinkle your glitter. Okay. We had glitter from the last one. If not, it looks very pretty the way it is. Okay, so the next card looks like this with the gnomes. Okay, so I already pre-colored my gnomes. So just take some pencil crayons or markers and color in your gnomes the way you like them. Okay, and then you can just pause this video and because I'm going to put it together because I already have my gnomes all colored. Okay. So I'll set this here and I'll show you how I put it together. So I have my gnomes all colored up and I have some foam squares. I have a little piece of holly, a green piece of cardstock, and my tag. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, that's my envelope, is make sure that my card is facing to the right, and I'm going to glue my card base down to the card, leaving a little bit of white around the edges. Okay, and then I'm going to take my white piece of cardstock and my string. I have this red and white string. I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, and I'm going to put a little piece of glue at the bottom. This is going to be my back. So I'm going to fold my string in half, or find the middle of my string now, and stick that to the back. Okay. Now if you just have glue, you're going to have to wait for it to dry. Okay, and then I have some foam squares. I'm going to put 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, and 1 in the middle. And I'll leave 1 for my tag. Okay. So now I'm going to take these, the paper off the foam square, and I'm going to set it in the center here. Now I want my one Santa coming out from behind the green piece of paper, and then I want this one here just popping up off of the back side. So I'm going to glue those down. Now if the foam square is in the way, you can just lift it up a bit and stick her behind. Okay. Now I left her hair white in this one. My other one was yellow. You can see my other one was yellow. So you can color them any color you want. Okay, I have the Santa guy sticking out, and now this gnome guy with the antlers, I'm gonna glue him right on top of the green cardstock. Okay, and now I'm gonna take my tag, and I'm gonna put 1 string through. I'm not sure if I can fit 2 strings through, we'll see. Oh, I did it. 2 strings through, and then I'm going to tie a bow on the right side there. Maybe. Let's see, tie a bow. There we go. You can cut your excess off if your scissors work. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure my sentiment's hanging off to the right, or left, sorry. And I'm going to stick that foam square on the back of it, just so that it can be secured to the card. Okay. And then I'm going to take my holly. You can stick your holly wherever you like, but I just stuck it right to that end of the tag there. Okay, and there you have it. A really cute gnome Christmas card. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Take care, and see you in the new year.